You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah!
Good morning and welcome to episode 1331 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, November 6th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. We have Al with us today. Al, thank you for joining.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
What up, Al? You have a Vikings hat on, but where are you at right now?
I'm in California, Sacramento, California, the home of like $6 a gallon gas. It's great.
Right.
Sacktown.
You export almost $6 a gallon gas over to Reno, just a little ways away.
Yeah, just right up the road. You're welcome.
For those of you that don't know, Al is on the squad. He's an intern. He also runs our Twitter 100% and gets the laughs on Twitter.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Al's with us on the 80-ish% guarantee on this podcast. Subscribe, like, and set to auto download if you don't mind. Today, we've got an almost which one's worse from school again, wouldn't you know it? Some bad teens, like that's pretty irregular.
Comma bad teens, yeah.
Okay, all of it though.
Yeah.
Sports and entertainment news with Al and some big busts and something up in space that I'll bring to you later on, and much more, of course. If you're having any issues on Apple Pods or Spotify with like any of the technical stuff, let us know. DM us because we're still working those out. So
That's exactly right. How's your weekend?
I've been with the kids the entire time. Just I've just emerged from the slumber party with kids all weekend, and then now I'm here in the podcast room.
Did you introduce them to Coco this weekend?
Oh yeah, we watched Coco a few
Hell
times.
yeah.
I mean, it was like there's no sleep going on, so it's just like nonstop movies. And then there was football. Watch Jaden Daniels get hurt. That sucked. And then that's
Brian Kelly, right? I love Coco. Al, do you watch Coco?
Coco is legit.
Yeah.
I love pretty much all the older Pixar movies I'm into. Big Cars fan. A kid growing up loved Cars, so I think I've watched them all like 100 times.
It's a fantastic series.
I watched Coco this weekend and cried a little bit, like always. It's good.
You can't.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a very emotional scene.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you're talking about the ancestors, the ofrenda. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Coco makes me wish I was more Mexican. Like I'm like super Americanized, so like I watch it like, damn, speaking Spanish. That shit.
You watch it with your grandma and she's mad at you.
Yeah, I'm mad at her. Like you should have.
Right. She should have passed it down. Yeah, she should have. Do you have an ofrenda, Al, or is it? No, you're not. You're not rocking that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's in Coco?
Yeah.
But no, I know. No, I don't have any of that. No, we have none of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's all right.
What's up with that, Grandma? Come on, pass it down. That's it. You guys, how was Al? I mean, are you excited about Josh Dobbs? I mean, I think we may talk a little football once we get into the show. But
oh yeah. I'm happy we didn't lose. I was telling you guys earlier. I was like looking at the schedule, like, all right, got Kirk Cousins, we're rolling. Defense is okay. We're in these close games. Hard part of the schedule is over, and then he, gets hurt. But Josh Dobbs filling in, gets the win on the road. I can't be mad at that.
You won 3 in a row.
Not bad. Mark, how was your weekend?
It was great. Great weekend. I'm glad to be here with you guys, and feeling real good. Yeah.
Let's go. That's what Dad Ash says. Let's go in the live chat. Well, that's weird. It says let's go, Al. I agree.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You want to hit
Mark,
the button?
You want to kick us off? I
can hit the button and kick us off. Hang on. Let me find it.
Bat some lead off for us.
You guys know where we
Kenny
are?
Lofton.
You know who you're with? 3 Factor, yeah. And this is real news.
Fast. That Kenny Lofton was.
Yeah. Lightning in the bottle. That guy was quick.
He could get on base. Then he'd steal the bases. All right. So like Will mentioned, I have too bad Wes wasn't here. This happened breaking between the last 2 episodes, at least news-wise. I think this would have gone really well with the Which One's Worse high school edition, although it's elementary school, so I guess it's fitting. And also, it might be the worst one. By the way, that was split right down the middle. If you looked at the comments on all of our things. Yeah.
I mean, it was a great Which One's Worse because
on YouTube, Discord, everyone was split down the middle.
Al, you'd be the deciding vote. Which one's worse? AI nudes of, adolescent girls leaking or
the drug fentanyl
overdose. 9 fentanyl
no one died, but there's a big fentanyl crisis.
Right. No one died, but 9 fentanyl overdoses at the same school.
I'm gonna go AI nudes
Oh,
because kids are gonna find out about it. They're gonna be doing
Tiebreaker.
it more and more. So
Tiebreaker. All
I'll
right.
go with
fair.
that.
I like it.
I'll take the L. I'll take the L. But
Fentanyl sucks. Going on record. Not a fan. But I
Yeah.
don't want to be too controversial. But
yeah, what are you guys pro fentanyl? All of a
Yeah,
sudden,
put-
look at this.
Put that on a bumper sticker. Anti-fentanyl. I don't like it.
Not a fan.
Thanks.
No. It's all bad. That's why it's which one's worse. But yeah. No.
So this one is all about 25-year-old janitor who looks like he could be friends with emo Mark Giovanni Impellizzari. This is
Yeah, eyeliner.
yeah,
On
I
both
think it is.
the top and the bottom. Yeah.
It looks like it, right?
Thin lips. Yeah. Super. I mean,
He looks
is,
emotional.
is that picture distorted? Or
That's him. 25-year-old Giovanni Impellizzari.
okay.
And so, what he did at the school that employs him as he's a custodian, I guess, janitor, right? Before we get into what he did, I have to ask you, what do you think of, like, that this dude was interviewed in person by anyone, including a staffing agency? Because, like, how does he get the job? Do you think he was interviewed ever, like, looking like this and acting like what he's going to act
Yeah,
like?
sure.
Like?
I mean, he didn't wear the eyeliner to the interview. Probably is my guess. He's got it in the mugshot. That's when he was on his high.
I don't think he went to an in-person interview. I think he was just kind of like online
Everything over the
applied.
internet.
Yeah,
Is this like a staff shortage issue here? We just need somebody with a pulse.
I think so. There's no way he passed the vibe check is what I'm trying to get at, like in the interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a haunting interview. Yeah. Imagine looking down the barrel of those eyes with all that mascara on.
Yeah, this guy hasn't blinked in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's the whole interview. They're taking notes, hasn't blinked, like on the papers on his. But yeah, so anyways, so let's get into what Giovanni Impellizzari did. He was
Looks like a vampire.
Man who was
minus.
Yeah. He was probably mad that Columbus Day changed to Indigenous People Day with the name Giovanni Impellizzari. But other than that, he was working at
a big Italian pride thing that's going on here.
Well, he's extremely Italian. He was working in Upper Deerfield Township, South New Jersey, at an elementary school called Elizabeth Moore School. And Giovanni got caught from anonymous tips to police these people saw his online videos because he was posting his crimes online of what he was doing at the school after hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hear a list of what he did?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have kids, trigger warning, in elementary school. He wiped his penis, testicles, and asshole on slices of bread and various utensils and items around the school.
Ooh.
He spit in the bread and put it back in the container to be later served to school children. So those slices of bread now have penis, testicle, feces from his asshole, and spit in them that they're serving to kids. He also
It's already bad. I mean,
it's getting bad. He also recorded himself masturbating and urinating on pillows and kitchen bowls. So like the pillows the kids laid on.
that ups the ante. That's way worse.
And then the coup de grace, where he crossed over from psychopath to homicidal maniac. He sprayed bleach into a cucumber container. So they had like a pickle jar, but with cucumbers, and he sprayed bleach into it. And that was the cucumber jar that they handed out to like kids and stuff. So he put bleach in the cucumber jar.
Dude, fuck this
kids.
guy.
Wait, you said he was recording this?
Yeah, he would post it like to like the dark web, like to like not quite TikTok or Instagram.
Like Telegram? Like what was he
like 8chan? Yeah, Telegram. Telegram was one. Yes, like to Telegram.
He was literally posting on this shit on Telegram?
Yes, literally.
Motherfucker.
It was just a whole group of people that were just like, yeah, bro.
There's a few of his friends, I think. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Him and his crypto bros. Yeah, they like all invest in the same shit coins, and then this is how they spam the chat.
Wipe your ass on it, Giovanni. And so he did. They did say that all of the food and those utensils were likely served to the kids. It's unclear like the time frame because he posted it online recently, but it's unclear if it was like this semester or last year. But
could have been saving up all of his works of art. Yeah, to like lay on the Telegram all at once.
Exactly.
Bro, check this out.
Right. But the kids, he's 25. So it's in the past 2 years, these kids were experienced. Yeah. So the parents of Elizabeth Moore Elementary School weren't too pleased, obviously. One parent, Bianca Pierce, said, quote, "I covered my mouth and started crying when I heard about this. I had no words. I mean, what can you say to a situation where someone was doing those disgusting things in the school where your child's supposed to be safe? I felt like I was stabbed in the heart."
They ate Giovanni's nut bread.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
horrible.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to him? I mean, like, is it what they're going to? Did they?
They're
let,
gonna
like,
kill him.
Did they? Yeah, I was going to say, did they let like every parent like punch him in the stomach once as hard as they could? Like, I feel like that would be appropriate.
Hoping
Oh,
they're
yeah,
gonna kill him. Yeah.
I mean, I would want to kill this guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to
I'd be
kill him, but I
kidding.
don't
I'm
have
like, yeah.
kids. Yeah.
Oh, he's the worst. Yeah, I mean, like, so I mean, what kind of charges though? What does this get you? This has got to be somewhat of like a heavy. Like, there's got to be something extra because of the kids, right?
You'd be surprised, Will. He does face several charges, but the one that was like labeled was second-degree official misconduct. Doesn't sound that
Holy
bad.
shit!
What does that even mean?
It means he's gonna like get
gonna
a
be back.
slap on the wrist. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to jail for like 60 days. And
It means he didn't learn his lesson whatsoever. Yeah,
Holy shit,
That's
Giovanni.
insane.
this guy. So
Not surprised.
Maybe he knows the law too, besides being a creep. Oh fuck.
yeah, I mean, it could be partially because they can't like 1000% prove that the bread was served. You know what I mean? Like, and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, it's documented. So that's crazy that's
Right,
all
but
he's gonna get.
what Mark's saying though is it
Yeah.
could have been he could say that he's pranking, and if unless they produce physical evidence of it.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Yeah. So he's like basically getting away with it with like maybe he'll have to like he's getting fired obviously, and he's gonna have a few misdemeanors, but
Yeah, but he's a marked
There-
man, right? You got to
Yeah,
leave
there-
town because
In
There's gonna be
Jersey?
physical evidence on his face from one of the dads finds him and punches him.
yeah,
Right.
you're right, Al. In South Jersey, I think they're like the judge is like, we're just gonna let him out of the courtroom right now. If you...
right. Going free is almost worse if they
Yeah,
don't take him into custody.
It'd be a real shame. It'd be a real shame if somebody found him in the parking lot. It'd be a real shame.
Your punishment is you have to walk out the front door of the courthouse.
Damn, that's
Holy
fucked.
shit.
So there you go. That's got to be up
fucked up.
there in the bad school things. There.
That's fucked up. Right. Hey, I'm gonna go last. Al, bring us what you got for your first one there.
All right, first one. Since I don't have access to the picks, Will's got my back. So I know you guys are familiar with the Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg beef, right? They had
Right,
talked about
absolutely.
fighting, maybe partnering up with the UFC, fighting in a Coliseum. And I think for the most part, like Elon's been the biggest troll. Like he's been talking about it the most. He was on.
Who leveled the challenge first? Do you remember? Or
I think Elon did.
Yeah, I think Elon did. I think he was like, screwing around. It's like when he took over X and, then they
Yeah.
made Threads, and then that beef just kind of came from
well,
his
then
side.
absolutely, whoever leveled the challenge is being the biggest troll because it was never going to happen, right? And then as we have talked about, and then they've just been nonstop talking shit and claiming they're getting ready, but obviously not getting ready.
Elon leveled the challenge when the Threads announcement came out, and then Zuckerberg went on like Twitter and was like, "You named the place."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Zuck's been training, and
Right.
and Elon hasn't shut up about it. Like I think Zuckerberg just kind of went radio silent because he's like, I don't really care. But even he was on earlier this week with Joe Rogan talking about the fighting him and going to his house. So as you guys maybe have covered, Zuckerberg's been training like his ass off. He's been doing jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Build the octagon in his
Yeah.
backyard.
He's rich, right? So he's got a lot of time on his hands. So he won the jiu-jitsu tournament. They have a picture of him, getting his hand raised, like a legit jiu-jitsu tournament.
Right.
He's also
these guys were not, like they weren't like hobbyists. They knew how to like do some shit. Like exactly. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a beginner, so he's going up against
Right.
other beginners, which is fair. He's also been training with like legit MMA fighters, and there's a video of him like doing some light sparring. So it looks like he's new, but he looks like he knows what he's doing, right? Like he's actually like putting his time into it.
He could submit you for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you didn't know what you're doing, and he's like 160 pounds or something like
He's
that.
playing. I mean, he's going to tournaments and shit. He's actually trying to learn jujitsu. Elon
Right.
Musk just claimed that he would. He said how to do the walrus. He said he was just like it was obviously like a troll the whole time. Especially looking back with Elon, but it was bullshit. How like we've been hoping for it. Al,
And Elon even backed out like a month or so ago, saying like,
Oh yeah, so he hurt his neck or something, or his back.
I might have to have like shoulder or neck surgery or something like that. But
Well,
to the Zuck point, how do you get to Carnegie Hall?
So the thing is like you practice, right? You practice. And unfortunately, his practicing has led to him blowing out his ACL. So even though the chances of them fighting were slim to none, right?
Look at him, fucking hospital pick.
He went on Instagram and posted this, which is pretty tough. And you kind of feel for the guy because he's actually been fighting. And so apparently he said I tore my ACL sparring and just got out of surgery to replace it. Grateful for the doctors and the team for taking care of me. I was training for a competitive MMA fight early next year, but now that's delayed a bit. Still looking forward to doing it after I recover. Thanks to everyone and love for the support. So he was training for a fight. I don't know who he was going to fight. I don't know what organization he was going to fight in, but he was going to fight somebody. So
this has got to be the end of his little thing, right?
It's over. It's over forever. I mean, it wasn't going to happen in hindsight. It's over forever.
But even Zuck should put the hobby aside of like him like doing little turn. Like you're done. You're like 40.
He might still like grapple. He might go train but he's not going to do like tournaments probably.
Lower the intensity at this point.
Who is he going to fight? That was the thing I was thinking about. Is it like a Putin deal where it's like, hey man, you're gonna take a dive here. You're gonna let me beat you up a bit. We're gonna make it look kind of real. But is he gonna get in there?
He likes to train with famous people. He likes to train with famous people. It's like his hobby now. Now he's doing the sport. And then he was probably gonna he did get like pretty cut training with all these famous people. He was probably going to lay down one last challenge to Elon and then make Elon, look like a bitch when he's like, no, I got to get the surgery. And then that was probably going to be the end of it. But he tore his ACL before he could even do that. Unfortunate for Zuck. So
are either of you guys like Friends aficionados, the TV show? R.I.P. Matthew Perry.
I never watched it, man.
Jon Favreau played a guest role in about like 6 episodes, and he was Monica's boyfriend, who is what's her face, not the girl who's married to David Arquette. What's her name?
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox's boyfriend. Yeah. And he was like a billionaire that owned like he was like Mark Zuckerberg in real life, and he made it his life goal to become a UFC champion. And so she was dating him and he was a billionaire, and then he decided to like do the UFC thing. And in his first fight, he gets knocked out cold, and she has to break up with him because he won't stop getting his ass beat as a billionaire that wants to become like a UFC champion. Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Art imitates life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, RIP to that fight, because you're right. Well, I don't think he's coming back from that.
No, it's not happening. And I'm upset with myself for getting excited to potentially see it. Like the Coliseum stuff, all of it seemed like once they mentioned the Coliseum, you knew it was bullshit, basically. Yeah. But still, it would have been awesome. But no,
Dana had talked about it a bit, so it was out there. Obviously, not going to happen. So
if I'm Elon, I'm trolling again, though, right? Like,
oh yeah,
when do you want to fight?
Has he said anything? Have we checked his Twitter? Has he said?
No, I don't think he said anything yet. So I just think it was just.
He's like, we need to set a date. Like spells it like with the knee.
Right. You just show a picture of him just like limping, and then like walking properly after that. Like, oh shit, my knee's fine. Apparently, though, his back hurts. So I don't know. It's bullshit from both of them. It's not going to happen.
Tough for Zuck.
So from Elon and Zuckerberg not throwing punches to the UFC this weekend had a main event. It was like a heavyweight contender fight that wasn't very good. Probably the best punch of the weekend came from Texas A&M and Ole Miss game Saturday afternoon. Did you get a chance to see this?
No, have not seen this.
All right, so it was an offensive and defensive lineman. I think they were getting into it. And if you just roll the clip, I would like your live reaction.
Absolutely. I've got it here for you.
Our Turner was ejected, Jordan. Oh, look, Micah Pettus has been finishing blocks like this all game. And watch Turner get up with the frustration. It's
defensive end.
Ric Flair.
And another one.
Oh, blow. It was like, let's do it again on mute. Holy shit. Okay. Let's replay that. So number 57, the right tackle of Ole Miss, is just eating this guy's lunch. He's got his hand up his ass. He's pancaked him so bad. And then the defensive end's got his head in between. Oh, straight to the nuts. I mean, he just comes up with it too. Then he punches him in the helmet.
Yeah, follow up with the right hand.
But
wow,
the damage was done with the dick punch.
So that was A&M defensive lineman Shemar Turner. He was obviously ejected. Ole Miss lost. You probably weren't watching that game unless you were either an Ole Miss or an A&M fan or a degenerate gambler. But he was kicked out.
Fans were watching too because they wanted A&M to win, and everything fell apart. So.
This is absolutely true.
But yeah,
So yeah, I want to know though, like, was there something leading up to that? Like, my brother played offensive line for a long time. He played like Division III college football. He's like, something must have been happening the whole game for that dude to finally lose, because that was egregious. I was trying to think of like other
like what Will said. That I was eating his lunch all damn day.
Oh yeah, so like I played lineman as well, like your brother. Not in college, but just in high school, and it is nonstop shit talking, especially when you're lined up against the same guy all game. So it's him and you going at it all fucking game. So you're talking shit nonstop, and you're just getting more dirty and more dirty as the game goes on, regardless of the outcome, really. And so it's like, because you have to go every play. And so this defensive end had just had a fucking enough. He was getting his ass kicked. He was going to be chewed out by the coaches come this next week because he was getting his ass kicked so bad. And this guy wouldn't stop talking shit and grabbing his ass when he put him on the ground. And that's what happened.
He got credit to Micah Pettus. He ate it. That was the offensive tackle.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing again for the guy. That's like the fucking cherry on top of the embarrassing thing is that he didn't even go down from the dick punch. Yeah.
He probably goes up a few slots in the draft. The tackle, that's what he did was he just totally debilitated the guy. I mean,
fellas, this guy's going to drive a couple 15-yarders. He's going to get punched in the dick. He's so good. Like he's going to get in their heads.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Turner was kicked out. I couldn't find out how long he's going to be suspended for. I imagine he's probably not going to play for a little while, but that's going to be his biggest hit of the season. So
that's amazing. That's a great video. Yeah. I don't think the coaches are going to want to put him back in anytime soon.
We won't be seeing him for a while.
Yeah.
No. And finally, people that we haven't seen in a while, Robert Downey Jr. was back in the news. There's rumors of him returning as Iron Man. In one of the new upcoming movies. These are just rumors. This is where the 80% accuracy comes in.
Okay.
But it was trending on Twitter. Yahoo had a little article about it. And, if you don't know, I'm a huge nerd. I love sports. I love MMA, but I'm also a gigantic nerd. I collect toys and comic books. So
I saw your video talking about the sizes of the Star Wars characters this weekend.
Yeah, it was a rant. That went on for like 15 more minutes. I had to cut it off after.
What kind of figurines are we talking about here? Is this the head ones, the block head?
No,
ones
not the Funko Punks or whatever. No, these are like actual Star Wars little figures.
Yeah, they're like action figures.
Funko Punks.
Okay. $25 to $35 figures. That's besides the point.
That's expensive. Okay, well now I can see the upsetness. Yeah,
we'll have Al do a spin-off show talking about the figurines. Yeah.
The sizes. Okay, good. I'm excited for that.
So yeah, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is like he was the face of Marvel for over a decade.
He started it. Iron Man 1 doesn't happen, the boom doesn't happen, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. And speaking of Favreau, my God, that was like
directed that.
I mean, that was like when that really put Marvel back on the map, right? Like when that happened, that
Power
was kind of like
couple.
what shook everything up, right?
Robert Downey Jr. Favreau gives me chills. Come on.
Yeah, and it essentially, just gave birth to all these movies that we see. Like every other movie is some sort of comic book movie. DC's trying to do it. They have the DC universe that came right after Marvel. So I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Marvel has not done so well after Avengers Endgame.
I mean, after I went to go to the theater to see Doctor Strange 2, and it was just so weird how far the quality of the movies had fallen. And it's just like, it was strange. It fell off a cliff, really. It's inexplicable. Honestly.
I'm a pretty big nerd. Definitely not as big as you again after watching that video, Al. But I have like hundreds of comic books still in my house from my youth, and huge Marvel in particular fan. I have not watched the past 6 Marvel movies.
Well, you're not missing much, and I think most people aren't going to see him either. Like Thor: Love and Thunder didn't do well. You have
that was also so much worse than the other 3, really. Yeah.
Disney Plus movies or shows haven't been doing well. It was like the Captain America, Miss Marvel. I think Loki and the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie have done the best.
Those were good.
Been really good. Yeah,
saw those.
Yeah,
super solid.
But that was also James Gunn, who's now in charge of DC. So
exactly, yeah, he's flown the coop. So I mean, you have these movies not doing well. Then you have Jonathan Majors in a scandal, for allegedly doing things. So this is the guy who you have your whole
right
franchise based off.
Thanos number 2, Kang or whatever is
Kang Dynasty
is now in
he blew it
trouble,
right? So like that's all done. So you have to have. I mean, it's basically RDJ or nothing, right? It's RDJ or bust.
And I made when all that happened, I made a meme a while ago that if you want to pull it up, it's how to solve this problem. By bringing Robert Downey Jr. back. Boom. Had him do blackface Kang.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh man, he would be awesome, Kang.
Yeah. So that's probably not going to happen. But Marvel's scrambling, right? They're losing all this money. There's a new Miss Marvel movie coming out called The Marvels that's already tracking to do worse. Automatically off the bat, it's tracking to do worse than The Flash, which is actually pretty impressive.
They should have shelved it like Batgirl or whatever they did with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see what movie's going to bring it back. Like, because like the last real good superhero movie was probably Suicide Squad, right? Like the really good one.
Yeah. Deadpool has done really well. So the main reason why they're doing this is because the Secret Wars movie is tracking for a couple years out, but that's going to bring in like Wolverine, which is Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and Deadpool and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So they need to have a bigger hook. So it's bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and potentially Chris Evans for Captain America.
They got to compete with DC. DC is about to be dominant because they're coming off of a bunch of wins. I mean, Flash 2 is a throwaway, but Marvel's got to do something. Otherwise, they're just going to be extinct.
What do we say about the greats? Like they don't permanently retire, right? Like he was coming back, right? Like he retired, but they throw $100 million at him to do one movie. He's coming back. He's not like Bruce Willis, like like incapacitated physically. Like he can always come back and play Iron Man easily. He's coming back. He's coming back. The GOAT.
So
Tom Brady, they all come back. Come on.
Fantastic segment, Al. And we got questions in the live chat from Well, That's Weird. How old are we, Al? Don't answer. We got guesses. Bailey guesses 38. Corey guesses 36. And Well, That's Weird guesses 26. What?
The guy who asked you thinks 26.
Huh. All right. Well, I think the beard maybe helping out a bit here. 41. So big time.
Everybody was low. So shame on you.
You can thank your Mexican heritages for that at least.
Yeah. Thanks, Grandma. They didn't teach good skin for melanin.
They didn't teach you about your friend though, but you got that.
That's why you're so wise. That's why you brought so much information in those segments. I mean,
thank you guys.
Right. Al also an old school skater. Send us some skateboarding videos. Pretty good skater.
Oh, all right. That's why everything hurts now.
Yeah.
Everything fucking my ankles. Everything hurts. It was worth it though, Mom.
Yeah, for sure. Bailey did win. He didn't go over. Okay. And you know what Tony Stark has probably been demanding of all those executives over there at Disney to get him back? He's probably making them send him so many portraits of himself. How bad they want him back. And he's probably asking for Paint Your Life because that's the best, custom made portrait you could possibly get your hands on. Tony Stark level quality. And to get RDJ back, I'm assuming that Disney has probably just been having to send Paint Your Life after Paint Your Life of different scenes of him.
That's why he's coming back, Will.
Saving because Paint Your Life is so good, and they finally sent him enough, and he was like, all right, I filled my house with all these beautiful portraits of myself saving the Marvel franchise, the cinematic universe. And that's what you should do too this holiday season. If you want to blow the socks off of anybody on your wish list who needs an important gift, Paint Your Life. The process is super easy. You just go to paintyourlife.com. Well, in fact, you text Factor to 87204 to get the 20% discount. And then you go to paintyourlife.com. You can use any set of photographs that you have. You can compile them together. Check this one out of my family that they made. It's like at Lake Tahoe. It's me and my wife, but also my daughter and my son are there. And he's only like 5 months old. We didn't really have this picture. We just had a bunch of okay pictures that we got put together by a world-class artist who put them, just painted it oil portrait. It hangs over the fireplace now. Really, really puts the room together. Paint Your Life. And my wife was blown away. It's a meaningful gift. And it's going to, if you need to give a good gift this holiday season, this is what you got to do. Paint Your Life.
And for that particular painting, you could lie to your kids and be like, we took you places.
Exactly, because they're so young. I mean, they're not going to remember.
Yeah, they're not going to remember. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there. That was
there.
our first beautiful trip to Tahoe. Don't you remember? Get a professional hand-painted portrait created from any photo for a sentimental holiday gift from the heart. Use their compilation service and upload multiple photos to create anything you can imagine. Put yourself in a location you've always wanted to go to, or a lost loved one. You can bring them back into the photograph or the portrait, and that means a lot. Lots of options. Customize your experience with a payment plan that works for you. As little as 10% down makes this a truly affordable gift. Like I was telling you, the user-friendly platform, they walk you through the whole process. It's perfect. This holiday season, you can give the most meaningful gift you have ever given from PaintYourLife.com, and there's no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now is a limited time offer. Get 20% off your painting. That's right, 20% off and free shipping. To get this special offer, text the word FACTOR to 87204. That's FACTOR to 87204. Text FACTOR to 87204. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. So.
Do it now. Perfect holiday gift. Do it right now.
It really is. Like
you'll get it well before the holidays. Do it now. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Josh Dobbs painting.
There you go.
Put it over my fireplace.
Perfect. And we should all get Musk versus Zuck in the Coliseum, since it won't ever happen. We'll have to use the compilation service. So.
True.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to a drug bust double. Sometimes the DEA and the other drug busters out there are out there keeping people safe from hardened criminals out to take over the world, the globe, with crime syndicates fueled by expansive drug dealing enterprises, and we applaud them for their work. But sometimes, they're just busting people with quote unquote clandestine laboratories, right? Which is just another word for making drugs out of your own home. Right. And so there was some pretty good examples from last week about, the softer side, maybe, of cooking drugs, making drugs. And I just wanted to show you guys
from their perspective.
Yeah. Well,
the softer side.
Yeah. It's not, it's not always,
that's
it's not always cartel, I mean, it's,
there's guy trying to make flavors.
Yeah.
They may be, they may be having to pay the cartel some type of, fee, of course, it's somewhere on the chain, but there's different flavors. And so first up, in Burlington, Connecticut, a house was raided by the feds last Thursday, and it was found to contain more than $8.5 million worth of shrooms. And I think, 8.5 million worth.
The house was full of shrooms, isn't that?
Yeah.
It's a lot of shrooms.
Check it out, Mark. I think the agent photographing the scenes appreciated these fungi as much as I do, because they got some phenomenal shots. Look at this. I mean, that's all the baggies out in the yard.
Those were in the house, though, before they brought them out?
Yeah, it's like a quarter acre of shrooms, just like, arranged in the front yard. Here's the lab.
God.
He's got the shrooms. He's drying them. I mean, he's got every single. Look at all these different kinds. He's got
this guy could save Marvel.
Oh my God!
I mean, think about it.
They
need to bail him out and make him the next, quote unquote villain. But then Stark turns him because he's such a brilliant scientist. I mean, look at these shrooms he's growing. They're incredible. And it's all kinds.
Wow.
He's got the whole setup. It's such a professional. It's impressive, honestly. So
it's just mushrooms. It's gonna be fine.
Right. I mean, it is just mushrooms after all.
Like, I'm a chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he tried to say. It was in his they raided him last Thursday, and it was in his detached garage to his house. And he was trying to say, these are just mushrooms. I just grow them. They're not blah, blah, blah. And then they go get a warrant. They come in. Anyways, it was the feds. It was local law enforcement. It was everybody. And it kind of sucks, though, because he was just a 21-year-old kid named Weston Soul. And he was growing shrooms in his detached garage, as I said, at the same time as shrooms have become more decriminalized locally in Oregon and other places. So when you look at the legislation behind this, it's only a matter of time before some of these raids like this start feeling like those old dispensary raids back in the West Coast in the early 2000s, where it was like a dying cry from some of the war on drugs folks.
But this guy's different because he's 21 and he's got this. He's doing the shroom operation. He's like more like a Nicolas Cage's character from Lord of War. He's like, what's going to happen? You're going to get a knock on the door. They need this guy. He's like the character from Catch Me If You Can. Like they're going to need him when shrooms are legalized. He's the guy. He's
clearly knows his shit. I mean,
he's like a genius.
How could you put out that many mushrooms in one garage? I mean,
you see the infrastructure at 21? I was skateboarding, getting high.
Right.
I wasn't doing anything like that. I was buying the mushrooms.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a prodigy. He's a prodigy.
Put those pictures back up. Yeah.
I mean, it's a little sad to see. I mean, this one especially, where you see the quality. I mean, you see the close up and the caps just looking. I mean, it's very nice. So, yeah, he's got skills, and unfortunately for him, I guess in Conniticut, those skills are not yet recognized by the federal government. Well, anywhere they're not, because it's still a Schedule I narcotic, just like marijuana technically. So
Oregon's going to trade for him. They're going to trade a criminal for him.
Yeah, they should. San Francisco,
Colorado,
Oregon, Denver.
Yeah, someone's trading for him. Yeah,
they should. I mean, that kid's he knows what he's doing. Over in Australia, I'm just going to let Melbourne. Sorry, that's how they say it. News 7 tell you what's going on with the meth dealers in their neck of the woods and how they handle business.
700 boxes of Lego worth around $200,000 have been seized as part of a meth raid in Melbourne. Detectives from the clandestine laboratory squad executed a warrant on the property, and a 36-year-old man since been charged with drug trafficking and knowingly dealing with the proceeds of crime. A 32-year-old woman was released without charge.
So who was charged?
The 36-year-old man. His girlfriend was let off. They both lived there at the meth house. And that's right, fellas. These guys this guy sold so much meth that he needed to convert the profits into pallets and pallets of Legos so that he could move the money. Okay. So,
check your house. You might have some of these.
Legos are expensive. Yeah, I got a bunch.
Yeah.
So there's a way just to money launder?
Yeah, it's a money laundering.
Money through. Oh, okay.
He also cooks meth out, so he's probably spun out and just doing Lego sets, Yeah. See, imagine how much quicker you'd be if you were on meth all the time. This guy had his lab for it, so he had everything he needed to be fast at putting together Lego sets and then boxing them back up and then moving them for money. So they collected 1,130 boxes worth over $200,000 of Legos that were seized out of his garage in just this raid alone. So imagine, as Mark said, how many Aussie kids are out there playing with meth Legos right now, because this guy touched so many as he moved the Legos to launder his cash, right? So,
Mushroom guy should be taking notes. That's the next move.
Innovative.
Get into Legos, right?
Lace it. Well, how many of these kids were the parents were like, man, Legos really spark their brain power, but it's really just the meth powder. Every time they play with the Legos, they're like getting A's in school, and they're just like,
but they'll never sleep, unfortunately.
Yeah.
These kids
cleaning the house.
They're cleaning. They're not complaining about cleaning.
The kids are vacuuming at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, pretty good operation. It's almost foolproof. Besides the fact that he had the active meth lab inside the house. So he's taken all those charges. The 36-year-old man that lived there with his 32-year-old, wife, girlfriend, whatever. He's taken the charges. And then because inside his Botanic Ridge home, there was also the active meth lab. So,
right.
Yeah. It explains all the Legos. Yeah.
Right.
I need a no context picture with the cops with the Lego stash, like standing all tough with all the Legos like sprawled out on a table.
Yeah.
like one of the bus pictures where they lay out the drugs and the money. It's just Legos all over the table.
I would have loved to see Grady Judd handle this bust.
Oh,
see, I mean, just to see what he would try to do with the Legos and the meth.
Bad dude. One of the cops takes off his shoes and steps on a Lego. Ow.
Yeah.
Bailey,
it's his getaway.
Yeah, he lays them out. Bailey from live comments says, little tweak and you can build the Death Star in about 15 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, Bailey.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven. People didn't know about it till now. But still, with all the many forms of legal amphetamines that are out there, cooking up the illegal ones and swapping them for Legos seems a little cheeky, but still highly illegal. So he's busted. But here's one that everybody can feel good about for sure. They finally busted the Somerset Gimp after 5 years in England. Remember, we've been covering this guy for 5 years.
Thank God.
On people. Yeah, they finally fucking busted him. After 5 years, he's been the Gimp guy in the Gimp suit in England, going all over the Somerset area, scaring everybody at night. Finally fucking got the guy. So,
what's his name?
32-year-old Joshua Hunt.
Jeez,
yeah. He's a self-employed what is that? Self-employed gardener. Interesting.
God. He's looking through windows all day. Not great.
How'd they get him? Did they say how they found him?
I'm assuming. No, I didn't look too far into it. I'm assuming he was in and out of like court before, so he's probably on camera or something. Or
for being a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He's
doing
just like
something
a
else
known
weird.
criminal who was also the Gimp, also the Somerset Gimp. So.
Glad they finally caught the Gardner Gimp. They outsmarted him eventually. Yeah. He kind of looks like Christopher Maloney from Law and Order.
It doesn't say much for the police force, does it, Mark?
Throw him back up. Yeah, it doesn't. This guy's been running
The
around.
Self-employed gardener, 5 years as the Gimp at night.
Yeah, they got him.
Her long-standing national nightmare is over.
Yeah, dude. He was plague. It was a terrorist plague on the neighborhoods of Somerset, England. They were scared. So,
well, that's good news. That is great news. Bad news for Joanna and Matt Petard of the UK. They currently live in Newbury, Berkshire. You're not supposed to pronounce it or whatever. It's not a shire, it's a shire or something. They used to live in a $1.5 million 6-bedroom home in the Isle of Wight. And the Isle of Wight's just kind of south of the mainland. That's right, that red thing down there.
Right.
Beautiful.
It's kind of like an interesting place, right? Like it's like a small population, kind of like a touristy island, maybe.
It is. They live there with 2 daughters. It also, unfortunately, has vagabond feral teenagers. Now, we know from this show that Wes and Pat and myself are scared of group of teenagers. So we probably shouldn't move to the Isle of Wight because they've got them there.
Quick aside about scary teenagers. The oldest set of kids that came and trick-or-treated with me last week, they come up and go trick or treat. And I was like, oh, I'll choose the treat, like trying to be like cheeky, like, hey, don't trick me.
I'm like, trick, bitch.
The first kid's like, I fucking bet you would. And so I was like, oh, fuck.
Whoa.
Good thing I gave you some fucking candy.
Jeez.
How old are they? Like teenagers, like high school?
That was like, he was like 14, he's just dealing with all those new hormones in his body.
He drove his group of friends to work. He was just driving around trick-or-treating.
What were they? Did they have costumes? Because in my neighborhood, they'll just show up with like a hoodie.
No,
and like
he didn't.
Mask.
All of his the balls on his buddies hadn't dropped nearly as bad. So they were all costumed up and respectful. And thank you for the candy. But he was definitely going to throw a pumpkin through a window.
He was like, "Don't dank him," punches him in the arm. Don't dank him, nerd.
They walked away. They're like,
Spider dork.
That guy fucking shook, bro. He's so scared, bro.
It was good. I mean, I respect it. I respect the balls on him. But yeah, I mean, hopefully nobody's house got fucked up.
Yeah, your house can get egged. Your house would have got egged or TP'd if you would have said something else. So maybe you.
That
right.
Kid
I mean, I gave him a big old handful of candy. Hey, go hit up some other house, buddy.
Good, because the trick is I egg you. Good. Well, that kid in Nevada is pretty tough, but the kids they have in the Isle of Wight are much more brazen and tough. What happened was 7 children under the age of 16 recently this past week went to court for what is being described as a month-long, quote, evil vandalism of the Petard's unoccupied house. So the Petards, what they did is like Easter of last year. This is like 2022, May basically, but April break. They do like a lot of breaks in England, in the UK. So they went on like a holiday. Easter for them is like a 5-day vacation. They took a 5-week vacation. They left their house with their daughters. They left. 7 kids.
Is tradition. We take a 5-week.
Yes, the Petards. Us Petards. 7 kids knew the Petards did this every year, and they decided to occupy their house and turn it into their playground from hell. They grabbed chainsaws, axes, and sledgehammers from the garage and used them in every one of the 6 bedrooms, leaving it in what has been described as looking like a war zone. They smashed chandeliers, stained glass, and other windows, doors, tables, a grandfather clock. The house was covered in ketchup and paint and graffiti. Yeah, they created slip and slides in all the main hallways with just like grease and paint and the ketchup. And
that's kind of funny.
It's a fucking They cut down trees in the backyard. They destroyed like old trees. They destroyed 100-year-old like pieces of furniture. They just absolutely fucking ransacked this house.
Pretty
for
metal. Like this is like reminds me of the punk rock movement. You know, like
extremely metal. It's like a punk rock band moved into of a 14-year-olds moved into their
Purge meets punk rock, but they didn't kill anybody, right? These
no
people
one's
were on
there.
5-week holiday.
Correct.
So,
no one was there.
Well, sorry for their house, but I mean, kind of hilarious what the kids did.
It is. They tore down paintings, tore up paintings, ripped them up. They carved messages into mahogany windowsills, probably like Secundius loves dicks. Or something like Definitely they carved dicks everywhere.
They didn't have security on this shit. Like, how if you have a house that nice, like what the fuck? Like you don't have that shit.
I saw the neighborhood. It seems like a very quaint town. It's like a beach town type thing. So like it was an average large house there, but one night neighbors did catch on and they heard glass breaking because there was glass found everywhere. And a couple neighbors went over, like old rich neighbors, and they're like shine their flashlights. And they're like, "You stop doing that! Whatever you're doing, we're calling the cops.
Stop doing the slip and slide down the hallway."
Yeah, exactly. or at least invite us.
Is that you, Pembroke? What's their last name again?
Pittmans or Petards?
Pittman.
So they like shine the flashlight at these kids, and they said that when they threatened the cops on them, all 7 like. They're all between the age of 13 and 16. All 7 kids walked out at these old rich bastards that were the neighbors, and they smirked at them and smugly walked away and were like,
Just flicked them off, maybe. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, they're getting aggressive, these teens these days, you know.
They are. All told, it was $400,000 US, like 325 to 50,000 pounds in damage done to the house and backyard. So the house went from 1.5 to $1 million. They even destroyed. This is kind of fucked up. Like the whole thing's kind of fucked up, but kids in a house, like slip and slide's funny.
Insurance is going to take care of the damages,
right? But the family moved because clearly like they had beef with these kids. Like obviously there was a reason why these kids destroyed.
Never going to end.
Yeah, every Easter this was going to happen, especially when you find out that the court gave them each a 1,500 pound fine, nothing else.
Whoa,
because they're minors. They were like less repercussions than the janitor that was fucking up the elementary school. Yeah, both my stories end horribly for the criminals. For like good, well for the criminals, but horrible. Yeah. So these kids learned nothing, but they moved because of that. So yeah, this is the worst part though. So everything's kind of funny but fucked up. They destroyed the Mrs. Petard's wedding dress. They covered it in oil, nail varnish, and footprints, and just absolutely ripped it to shreds. Her wedding dress, which that one's fucked up. Like they had a vendetta against this family and her.
It sounds like the town did. I mean, they didn't even punish the kids for destroying the house.
They're like, bye, Petards.
Yeah, maybe they're the problem.
Yeah, I think they are.
What's the other side of that? You have a whole like small tight knit community, and then just everybody wants to just fuck this one person's house up.
The Petards got bullied out of town.
Yeah, maybe they're transplants.
Yeah,
who knows?
They weren't well liked. Yeah, maybe they were hired, these kids. Yeah, but why do they hate them so much? I don't know.
That's a great question.
Something's up. Hey, real quick question from the chat. Sam asks, does Al have arms?
Yeah.
YouTube.com/hard.
I just drank from this awesome mug that I have. Look at that.
Al's just not as broad shoulders as us. He's half of us.
That's true. I'm a small man.
Yeah.
Right. When you're normal sized and then you're put up in the chat with us, it's an optical illusion. Really.
That's right. I do have a bonus dog.
Oh, nice.
This one I didn't really research that much, but this is interesting. A mystery billionaire is offering a couple, and it doesn't say what that means, just a couple, $185,000 to spend 1 year living on a private island in the Caribbean in the British Virgin Islands. And all they have to do is post online the entire year. And it's rumored to be Richard Branson, but it's a untold billionaire who is building a private island in the BVIs, and he wants people to come tour it, and he wants the couple that is good at social media to show from day 1 to day 365 how far the islands come.
Wow.
Okay. At first, it sounded like a Mr. Beast challenge, but
you have to fuck them too, I think.
Yeah, I was
you
gonna say,
I mean, you definitely have to fuck Richard Branson too, but
high odds you may not make it off the island if you
Right.
displease him, and you're because that's a
you
lot
have
of
to
pressure.
fuck him. Have to fuck
Yeah,
him.
you displease him by not fucking him. Yeah, that's,
Right.
That's pretty much
Well,
it.
when you're on his
You're
island.
fucking. Yeah.
The
And the
implication.
couple is two ladies.
Oh yeah, it's good. Go wait for Branson to get around.
You have to do a video submission. I mean, he's picking the couple.
How much again? 160.
185,000. You have to pack up and leave basically within a week of when he picks you, and then you go live on the island for a year. So you have to be able to let everything go for a year. There's no promise of 2 years or 3 years. You get 185,000 guaranteed to pump up an island that this mystery billionaire wants to turn into like
I'm
a
gonna
tourism
apply.
thing.
Yeah,
I mean, who wouldn't?
Right. They pay for all your shit, all your
apply.
food and stuff.
I'll put the link in. Yeah, I'll put the link in.
And Branson's got good internet. I can do the show from his private island, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I gotta put my name in the.
You have to do internet. You have to do internet stuff. You have to post a TikTok about the island and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right.
Can I bring all my action figures? Is that okay? You think you'd let me do that?
Yeah, I see. My problem was like pets. I don't know if you're allowed to bring
Yeah.
pets. Action figures, sure, you can bring them. It doesn't say on pets, and again, I think the fine print says you have to fuck them. But
Well, I mean, for a year-long stay,
Yeah.
on a beautiful island, and with your whole family's paid for, and all you got to do is take pictures and maybe give Richard, a little OTPHJ. I'm sure he doesn't want to go all the way with a guy like me,
now he's probably gonna want to bang your wife instead of you like.
We'll have to have that conversation. I mean, it's
Right.
Richard Branson.
Yeah.
He's going to throw a few more zeros on that. That's 180.
Well, of course, it's like
Yeah,
indecent a proposal, right? Like you gotta lure him in to get it, and I mean, it's good. Of course, it'll destroy our family, but
It will. You're both
could be
right.
a fun
But
year. It
You
could be
always
a
have the
fun
painting
year.
though. You'll have the painting forever.
185 is the opening bid, and then you got to kind of go from there. So, yeah.
All right,
I'm interested too.
we're all gonna apply.
Yeah. Drop that. Just drop that link. Just drop the link.
I'm going to drop the link. I'm gonna
Okay.
drop the link.
Something's up with that though. Something's up with that offer.
No, they won't tell you who's offering it. That's a
Yeah.
red flag.
Right. It's
Something's
like a
up with
Black Mirror. We'll go with Black Mirror. It's more like instead of Mr. Beast, like a Black Mirror
It is.
episode.
Right.
It's gonna
I
get
think
weird.
this-
Robot
it's
dogs
gonna
are gonna
get-
come out or something. You have to
it's gonna
survive
get
it.
super weird.
They might just hunt you on the island.
Yeah.
There's something up. With
Oh, this couple won, but they might be like inviting like 50 couples that all think they won and just like stocking the pond with humans to hunt, And
And then the last couple is the one that wins the money.
Right.
that
Well,
could be
Hunger
what it
Games.
is, or it could be Richard Branson, and you just have to give him an OTPHJ one time.
Yeah.
and you get
He's
to
like,
go.
it's me, and I'm definitely fucking both of you.
Like, damn it.
All right, Richard.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I'm gonna hope for mystery box and apply, but something's up with that offer. And do you guys ever get the feeling that something is up in general? I feel like this episode has sort of set this up because I got that feeling right now that something's
Space.
up. Well, not just space, Mark.
Okay.
It could just be that my kids aren't sleeping at all and have kept me up around the clock for the last several days, or it could be that something's actually up, and I'm seeing the signs right now. First up, guys, check out this knife ad that I got sent to me in a random Christmas catalog this weekend. It says they'll be asking for forgiveness.
Oh my God.
Special
I love
1998 9.5-inch razor sharp blade, spiked blade. And something's up with that. Why am I getting that kind of ad? That's it. That's
You
intense.
sent-
That's
It's
aggressive.
only
sent that
$20.
You sent that over the weekend, and that's the best caption for a thing ever. They'll be asking for forgiveness.
What's up with that? Something's up with that.
Yeah.
Why am I getting that random ad to my house?
You need that.
Yeah.
Targeted ad.
That's aggressive. That's aggressive. Next
bit.
up, DeKalb County, on the Day of the Dead, Lombard Trucking let us know that a road sign was hacked at Peachtree Road to read Rich MILF Zone. Okay.
Oh, baby.
They hacked it
Hell
in this
yeah.
part of town to say it was a Rich MILF Zone. Thumbs up.
Why they
Yeah.
blur it out, man? It's not bad. It's not
I'll
that
tell you
word.
what's up, Will. Is it's a
Network
rich
news.
MILF
They
zone.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with MILF? Good point, Al.
They're one of those
Just a little.
is a curse word.
Okay, why don't they do MIL and then blank out the F? Because
yeah, let me know. It could be any. The M could be any. But yeah,
right.
maybe it is. It was it though? Is it confirmed? A rich MILF zone?
Peachtree Road in DeKalb County. You tell me, Al. You ever been there?
I have to do a little research. I'll find out. No, I haven't, but I'll find out.
People who hack the sign say that it's a rich MILF zone. So something's up with that. And as Mark was alluding to, even up in space, feels like something's up with the Daily Mail reporting that the Pentagon's UFO chief is going to be sacked, as they would say it over there in the UK, by the end of the year because everybody's accusing him of lying, saying he's ignoring the whistleblowers, he's lying, he won't let Nancy Mace get the skiff, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be sacked, fired by the Pentagon, apparently, because everybody's asking questions about all these aliens that he won't answer. UFOs, okay? And finally, fellas, I know something is up because every major news outlet out there is reporting just 1 week after Mark blew the lid off the whole hollow moon theory in general. They're reporting just 1 week after that. Scientists claim to have finally found the remains of Theia. Now, Theia is an ancient planet that allegedly collided with the Earth to make the moon. And Mark, these scientists,
the Mars-sized object was Theia. Okay,
Theia, that's the ancient planet. And Mark, these scientists claim to have hypothetically found these remnants of Theia inside the giant blobs under the surface of the Earth. As we have covered, there are two blobs larger than oceans under the Earth's mantle that they have no idea what's in there.
We probably got a hollow Earth going on with people living in there, like the hollow moon. Yeah.
And they even say it's possible, Mark. They even say it's possible. They say that they know hypothetically, theoretically for sure, and it's being published everywhere this week, that those giant blobs, the LLVPs, large low velocity provinces inside the Earth's mantle, they now say hypothetically, theoretically, publishing it for a fact that that's from the ancient planet Theia that collided with Earth billions of years ago.
Just figured it out.
The moon, and they just figured it out right now. Right now. You know, Mark, this was considered absurd as recently as 2021, when the same guy who's now published in Nature magazine for this theory was declined 3 times to publish it. But now,
they'd run you out of science if you said something like this.
2 years later,
out you go.
2 years later. Now this is being published and everybody agrees on it. Every major news outlet's publishing it. So
I've been saying before the hollow moon thing, which I didn't know was a theory, and I'm not poo-pooing those guys because I kind of think they might be onto something, or at least it's a possibility. I've been saying the center of the Earth is bullshit with the 7, and then we keep finding out new things. There's an extra layer. There's a new layer. There's extra things.
How did all this?
We don't know. We don't know what's going. We don't know what's going on in the center of the Earth. Is what I've been saying.
Yeah. How did all this change
Even
in 2
before the
years?
moon. Yeah.
All of a sudden, some guy from ASU and some other guy from another university agree on one thing, and all scientists now say that the blobs are from Theia colliding with the Earth billions of years ago to form the moon, and now the leftovers is the blobs and the moon. Okay? So now you're supposed to take that as a fact, even though this is the guy who even published it. He says it's hypothetical, theoretical, completely. And one note about Nature, the magazine, this is the same magazine that published that there was no Wuhan lab leak. They were the Proximal Origins paper distributor. They're now going completely 180ing on how the moon was formed and how the blobs under the Earth were formed 2 years later. I mean, credibility is at its absolute lowest at this point. And Hollow Moon has never been more on my thought horizon.
There you go. Hollow Moon community and the Hollow Earth community are they're stoked right now.
Yeah. Big win.
See?
Yeah.
Who's the crackpot now?
Yeah, exactly. Still us, still them, still us.
Yeah, right.
You see, slightly better.
I don't know. There's a lot.
Hey, at least we're in the same ballpark. Yeah.
Something's up.
Oh man.
Something's up.
Something is up.
Something's up.
Something's up. That makes me happy. Well, this reminds me of the best joke, I think, in any Ernest movie was from Ernest Scared Stupid, which just, a great Halloween movie that just happened. He's trying to figure out how to kill the trolls, what kills the trolls. And the answer is milk. But milk is one of the letters is like crossed out. It's M-I, and then L-K is like whited out in the book. And he's like, what could it be? Good old fashioned German Miak.
Miak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ernest figured it out.
Stop
Yeah.
crossing this stuff out.
Yeah, let us read the MILF sign. Come on, news people.
Yeah.
Well, Al, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate you stepping in.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Come back anytime, Al.
Brought some
Thanks,
phenomenal
guys.
stories,
Bring your
phenomenal
arms.
vibes. Yeah.
I have
Maybe
arms.
bring Hulk hands or something to please the people at youtube.com/hardfactnews. Don't forget, we're very close to 125,000 on Instagram at Hard Factor News. Please follow there if you don't already. Also, close to 10,000 on youtube.com/hardfactornews. Please follow there if you don't already, because once we get to 10,000, we can post stories and whatnot, and that'll help us grow the brand. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.